If you think Chelsea don't deserve Champions League football, you haven't watched the game against Newcastle. But so does Newcastle, to be honest. What a football match we have witnessed between Newcastle and Chelsea. Ended at 2-0. Nicolas Jackson coached Chelsea today with his stupid elbow today that he went with his elbow against his botman. I think it's a red card. The referee saw it as a red card. Everyone saw it as a red card. There's a lot to talk about in this game. But before we go and analyze the game, before we go and talk about this game, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Newcastle jumped to third, 1 point behind Arsenal, 3 points above Chelsea and above Aston Villa in the third place to cement their place in the Champions League next season. I think they got to get it now. I think Newcastle are going to get Champions League football. The question about Chelsea, I have to start by saying a couple of things. Number one, Chelsea were so good today. Enzo Maresca have big balls going into the second half. They pressed Newcastle. They created a couple of chances. They actually went inside the 18. And I think that Enzo Maresca today, for me, the way he approached the game in the beginning of the game, it wasn't wrong. He continued with the same formation. He continued with the same thing until the end of the first half. And in the second half, he went all out. He went all out, Enzo Maresca, and he tried so hard. But again, they were a man down. And you just can't do it more against a resilient team like Newcastle, who are brilliant. They are brilliant defensively. Counter-attacks, they are brilliant. They had their fair chances today, of course. And all I have to say is that these two teams, watching the game today, really deserve to go to the Champions League. Newcastle, without a shadow of a doubt, they have brilliant players like Tonali, Isak, Guimaraes, of course, Dan Burn, Botman, Fabian Schär. Great players, to be honest with you. And Eddie Howe is doing a wonderful job with these players, of course, at Newcastle. They were ruled out from making Champions League football. Now they are in prime position to make Champions League football with this win at home. One of the toughest grounds to go for Chelsea and Newcastle. 2-0 clean sheet as well. I think they gave me more than enough evidence that they deserve to be in the Champions League next season. Isak is not going anywhere, so Liverpool fans can forget about that now. As for Chelsea, I wanted to say a couple of things. Chelsea really need a striker that is clinical. Nicolas Jackson, apart from the red card, he's so sluggish. And Madueke and Neto, they go to the byline, they try to cross, and Nicolas Jackson is not there. Cole Palmer today didn't play well. He wasn't as much in the game. Yes, the sideway passes and everything, but he wasn't fantastic. He wasn't great. I thought I'd give a shout to Jadon Sancho. He came on and actually had a very good game on that left side. He terrorized that Newcastle defense, but there is no support, of course, with a man down. There's a lot of back and forth in the game, but I got to give a shout to Chelsea for having the majority of the ball. For actually, it's not only an empty position. They actually went to the byline and they had put in a lot of crosses. They played a lot of balls behind. They tried so hard. Even Kukurea had a chance and Nick Pope saved it. And it just, you know what, like there is sometimes you have to hold your hand up and say that just a better team won today in Newcastle. The team with 11 men versus 10. It is a very tough ask for you to say that Chelsea could have gone in and won the game against Newcastle with 10 men, especially with the red card for Jackson, for the striker. They don't have anyone on the bench that can replace him that is adequate enough. This is why they need to go in the summer and get a striker. But Enzo Maresca's tactics were really, really good, especially at the end when he really played with one centre-back in Colwell, pushing Malo Gusto up, pushing Kukurea up, and playing with Reece James, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, and Cole Palmer in the middle with Jadon Sancho and Neto up top. I thought that it looked very, very good from Chelsea, to be honest, in that second half. But they still lack the end product, and that end product only comes with a clutch player up top, like a striker that can put the ball in the back of the net, that can occupy the defense. And that is what is missing for Chelsea, to be honest with you. You look at this team and you think, the defense is getting a little bit better. The midfield is top class. The wingers are starting to provide output, to provide things on the pitch like Neto today, and even Sancho and Madueke the last game. But they still lack that cutting edge up top for them that for a team like Newcastle has in Isak and Harvey Barnes and Gordon. They go to the goal and they try to score, and that is what is missing, to be honest, from Chelsea. If they go in the summer, if they make Champions League and they go in the summer and sign a striker, I think they will be dangerous. Of course, they need a center back as Chalobah, Colwell. They are just not great. They are all right. They had bad moments this season, but also you need a leader at this back. You need a leader at the back, like especially in the goal that you considered the first one. They were all over the place. Like Tonali made a late run to the 18 and no one was picking him up. That is a defensive structure that not only come from the coach, but also come from a player that is a leader at the back. And they don't have that at the current moment. They don't have that leadership at the back. For Newcastle, I just want to touch on Bruno Guimaraes is absolutely putting in a world-class performances, but also Sandro Tonali. Sandro Tonali, since he came back from the suspension that he had for the gambling, he has been immense for them. He has been absolutely phenomenal for them. And you have to hold your hand up and say that he has provided goals, he has provided assists, he has provided like defensive work, and he has been immense. Livramento, great fullback, left, right. It doesn't matter. He always put in great performances. Yes, Isak wasn't at his best today, but he still, when you have that stature up top, you affect defenses, you shake them. And that is what Isak do. And that is what a lot of teams in the Premier League don't have. Like Haaland, of course, for Man City, when you have to mark Isak with two players, you have to be worried about him. But today he wasn't great. But the others were very, very good. And I thought that, to be honest with you, Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali were top notch today. Both teams deserve to go to the Champions League. You let me know in the comments. Do you think what I'm saying is correct? Do you think both teams will go to the Champions League next season? Do you think Chelsea can win against Man United and win against Forest? Based on what I saw today, I think Chelsea can win both games. 6 points, I think, will guarantee them a Champions League spot if they win the next two games. But it is down to the players now for the next two games to step up and play like men as they did today. They played a very, very good game today. And Enzo Maresca is now, he is discovering the form in the beginning of the season. Yes, the result didn't go their way, but it was good. But also they faced a team that is so resilient at home in Newcastle. So I'm not going to just sit here and bash Chelsea like a lot of people will do. I think that if you watch Chelsea, there are things that are missing, but also there are a lot of good things at Chelsea at the current moment. There are things that have improved over the past like 3-4 weeks. And you have to admit that maybe, I'm not sure if Enzo Maresca is the right man, but I think some of these players deserve to play in the Champions League. You let me know in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button. I will see you guys later. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you just came here, and I will see you guys soon.